Suzy Zenouzi and I run a company called Majona Limited. We specialise in radio and TV plugging now, but the nature of our company has changed over the last 7 years. My path into the music industry was strange. I was working for an American UK magazine called Don Diva, and I shouldn't have probably named it, but I did. And I got, and some American people contacted me to work for Jay-Z, to organise an event for him. And I set about trying to do something I've never done before, and from there I went into event organisation. I worked with Cassidy, Kanye West, John Legend. Then I didn't really like the event side of things, so I moved into doing a bit of radio plugging through Jay-Z's cousin Brian Biggs. I broke Lupe Fiasco in 2004 in the UK, and more people approached us for radio and TV, and here we are doing what I think we do best, radio and TV. Okay, I can't talk about personal barriers into the industry because I didn't have them. Music found me, I didn't really chase music, but I know from my clients and from my friends how difficult it can be. Mostly it's financial. Sometimes people aren't really thinking from a business side. They're being creative, they're going in the studio, but they're not thinking about the business side, and the business side is so incredibly important. Obviously, as a company ourselves, it took us time to learn how to do what we did. I think with everything that's music-based, you have to be incredibly diligent, you have to do your research, make your phone calls, find out as much as you possibly can, and keep your options open, but do your research and do view it as a business, because for 90% of the people that you aspire to be, it's a business. Be creative, be inspiring, but understand that it's a business. Be prepared to be open to take good advice, because if you're lucky, you'll have a team of people around you that want you to succeed. So, you know, confront those things and know that if you're quite new in the business, you do need to develop. People like Beyonce, they've been in the business for nearly 2 decades. That's a lot of graft. That's vocal training, you know, choreography, touring. You know, you look at people and take one of your own fans, for example, look at them at their early stages and look at them where they are now, and you'll see the development. So be prepared to go through that development yourself as an act, as a new act. That's what I would say. The best part of my job is to actually work with someone who I believe in, like a Lupe Fiasco, and when we genuinely, you know, we get the material so early on, and when we believe in it, and we go to the radio stations and the TV stations and people believe in it too, and you start to see their fan base grow, and you just start to see the movements in the way that people dress that imitate them, and it's so amazing. You know, we're a part of that person's dream, and that's why we are so hard working with what we do. We feel the responsibility of their career and their welfare, and when they succeed, that's the greatest buzz for us as well. No sleep, no, seriously, because I work stateside as well. Like, the one thing I haven't said is that Majona is like a portal for a lot of Americans. I'll give you a little bit of insight into the major labels from America to Europe. People that are signed through Convict Records, let's say, to, let's say, Interscope or Universal, they will get plugged in America, but unless the label over there believes that there's a buzz over here, they won't necessarily look at a European release for them. So we also behave as people that do the grassroots stuff. This is what happened with Lupe and us. You know, we start the buzz going over here, the label is not even thinking about releasing those acts in Europe. We get that buzz going, we get the radio stations going, and then that's when the majors will start reviewing whether they should do European release or not. So we do have a number of American acts that we work with, as well as UK acts, and we have clients in Russia, China, and the Middle East. So when you ask about my schedule, it all depends on what I'm doing. If I'm UK based, working on UK projects, but generally speaking, we're juggling America and the UK, which means like a 10-hour difference from LA, 6-hour difference to New York. And that's kind of what it is, us communicating with our partners and radio plugging and chasing people, you know, playlist managers, TV managers, all kinds of people to ensure the success of the acts. My job, you must be crazy! No. Okay, it's really gratifying in parts. I would say it takes time. It's with people like Jay-Z's cousin behind me and De La Soul and my various, and Rich Harrison's people, to even break through. You have to, it's like a crazy love affair with an invisible man. You just have to know that you're going to get what you want and persevere. It's a lot of hard work. I've had to work incredibly hard, and I still do. As soon as you step up one notch, you know that there's another 10 notches to go, so you can't ever relax. You have to love it. I would say you have to love it, you have to persevere, you have to believe in what you want to do, and don't let anyone dissuade you. I think it's changed a lot in the last 2 years. Obviously, 2 years ago the law changed, so you could have a chart position through digital release rather than physical. So that was a good thing and maybe a bad thing. I think with the major investors now, they do understand that there's absolutely no money in mechanical sales, i.e. unit sales. You make about, what, 13 to 25 pence per unit sale. What your money is going to come from is your PRS, your spins on radio, your video spins. Everybody has to be a brand, and I think it's going to be more like that. I think the major labels might disappear soon. I think your Coca-Colas, your Pepsis, your Ariels even, and your Bolds are going to be into music. I think it's going to be co-branding. I think that's what it's about. And I think it's going to go right back to its roots when people had to tour and it was about scouting people through live shows. I think eventually it will go back to that on a bigger scale with companies.